gentleman and his wife approached me at a banquet in Pennsylvania recently, and he said, "I've always wanted to meet you again." I said, "Again?" He said, "Yes. I was a 20-year-old security guard at the American Museum of Natural History in New York City the night that you stole the Star of India and the J.P. Morgan gem collection. It was my job," he said, "to come up to the gate where the locks were and look into the gem room and see if anything was going on." He said, "I came up there 3 or 4 times while you were in there." And I said to him, "Caught you sleeping, didn't I?" And we laughed at that. And I told him, I said, "Well, I'm glad that it worked out as well as it did, because I was inches away from you with a loaded pistol." We had to climb over that fence, and there they had dogs, and it was a serious little setting there. And then we climbed into this interior part of the museum. The museum covered the whole block, and it had different wings and all. And then we climbed up the outside of the building. There was a little tiny ladder out there, like an escape ladder or something, and a water drain. And we were able to climb up to the top of the 4th floor. And with this lower area here, we were around 120 feet high right there. And we go up to a small ledge, a 14-inch ledge. Now we've got to go probably 100 feet, 150 feet down this wing, and then turn to the left, which puts us right over the J.P. Morgan gem collection. On the floor where the ledge was where all the scientists and the taxidermists and the people that prepared the museum displays had their rooms. And so we looked down at these lower windows we had to get in, and several things happened while we were up there, because we're trying to stay balanced. And I go down to this one corner just checking it out, and there was an enormous covey of pigeons in the corner, and they didn't move until I got right up, and they exploded. My name is Trent Dilfer. Would you put some lights out here, please? Maybe Trent's here tonight. Thank you. I was in Visalia at a walnut ranch at a banquet, and met a young man named Trent Dilfer there. He was speaking, and I was there, and I said, "You want to go to prison?" And like most people, he said, "I don't think so." He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "We're going to go tell people about Jesus." He said, "I'll go." Somebody asked me, said, "Are you guys a bunch of religious dudes?" I said, "No way, we're not religious dudes." I said, "But we come here to represent. I want you to listen to me." I said, "We've represented a lot of things in our life. We've represented motorcycle gangs and all kind of gangs and the military and all. But we come here this weekend to represent a young man that was called an outlaw. They called him a troublemaker. They called him a revolutionary. A young man that got arrested just like we got arrested. And they took him to prison, they took him to jail, took him in a courtroom just like they did us. They found him guilty of stuff that he didn't do, the guy that we represent. The reason he got busted is some religious people were playing religious games. There's a lot of that going on out there. And religious people put the money up to have him busted, and one of his homeboys dropped a dime on him. The judge said, "There ain't nothing wrong with this guy," but a lot of religious people said, "We want him out of here, get him out of here." And they took this young man that we represent, they took him out on death row, and they executed him in front of his mother and hundreds of people. They buried him. A guy said, "That's my friend. I'm going to bury him where my family's going to be buried." But that young man had already told those people, he said, "That ground can't hold me. That ground can't hold me." And 3 days later, when some women went to the cemetery to check it out, that young man that we represent was up and out of there.